So you know how in Destiny 1, Noel North came in and replaced Peter Dinklage as the Ghost? Well, what if in Destiny 2, Peter Dinklage comes in and replaces Nolan North? Ha! When Destiny came out, I was excited because, well, Bungie was making it and they made a lot of awesome Halo games and I really loved them. And then I got my hands on Destiny. I enjoyed it, but I wasn't crazy about it. I saw a lot of potential there, but it got very monotonous and very, very repetitive very quickly. Lots of varies. Then the expansion started coming out and started fleshing out more of the world, more of the game, providing more variety, and then Taken King came out. And I feel like this is where they started hitting a stride and they started doing a lot better. It had a lot of variety, it had a good story, it was really good stuff. So if they kind of continue this, which is what I'm hoping to see in Destiny 2, I think we got something really cool to look forward to. Either way, the trailer just came out. I guess the bad guy's name is Gary. I'm excited for it, so I wanted to share my excitement by doing a wish list of sorts for things that I want in Destiny 2. Will they happen? Probably not, but hey, maybe I'll entertain you for a couple minutes. Alright, let's get into my top 10 list of things I want to see in Destiny. Number 1 for my list of Destiny 2 things I want is I want a really good story right from the outset. Base game, I want that right there, the disc, holding in my hand when I have it to have a really good story, because Destiny 1 story was kind of meh until Taken King came out. It starts a bunch of threads, but it doesn't really go anywhere with them. It's like, ooh, here's a direction. Oh, that's interesting. No. We'll cut that off. You'll get that in the DLC later. What about over here? No, you can't. Well, this one? Yeah, we're going to go with this one. But what about the other ones? I'm confused. There's 4 different enemy types. No one's ever giving me any exposition on any of these things. Why are we fighting them? Who's the darkness? I don't know what's going on in that game. And it shouldn't be that complex. I mean, look at Bungie's history. It's all really simple narratives. While there's expansive lore, the stories in which they're telling, you can understand what's going on at the immediate moment, the characters' motivations, and all that. But in Destiny base game 1, you didn't know what was going on. It was very confusing, and I don't want that. I want it more in line with Taken King, but beef it up a little bit more. And when I mean kind of be like Taken King, what I mean with that is it seems like from the Destiny 2 trailer that they showed off is that there's going to be one main bad guy who has like an army of people, Gary. So we're going to be fighting Gary. And what I like is that's similar to what Taken King was. We had the Taken King come in, he had an army, and we had to take him out. And with that, there was a lot of comical situations that kind of came out through dialogue between people. There was characterization grew in the game. It was never there before. Give me a simple story told on a grandiose scale, using a big word there for me. And I think Bungie does a really good job with that kind of stuff, and they implement that into their new game. We're gonna have something really memorable, and I think they're gonna gain a lot more of their fans that were maybe slightly disappointed with base game Destiny 1 and decided not to try any of the other stuff later on. But now, maybe they might earn them back to be like, the story's here, Bungie's here, and we're happy. Number 2, Destiny 2 needs to have more variety at launch than Destiny 1 had. Destiny 1 launched and you had the campaign, so you beat that in about 6 hours. You can do that with your friends. That's fun, okay. And then they had about 5 dedicated co-op missions, and those were fun. And then you had the raid and you had multiplayer. So it had okay amount of variety, but in terms of what it was trying to pull off, it got really repetitive very quickly, like I said in the beginning. And when you have only 5 strikes and you keep doing the same 5 strikes over and over and over again, it just gets boring really quick and you don't want to continue on, even though the combat's amazing in the game. Then Taken King came out. And it added, well, it quadrupled the amount of strikes. Tripled the amount of strikes because math for me. And this added an extra flavor of variety to it where you weren't getting as bored as quickly because you wouldn't encounter the same exact strike every time you went into the playlist. Sometimes you would never encounter it that night. You'd be playing with your friends, you're like, I haven't seen that one. in forever, and then it pops up and you're like, whoa, this is in the game? Like, I totally forgot about this, thought I made it up. But that kind of stuff adds to it. When you have like 15 strikes, that helps with the variety. Also, another thing I think would help a bit is I always like when games give you a level and it's during the daytime, but then they give you the option to play that level at night. To me, it feels like a completely different level playing through that area, especially where you're trying to figure out where enemy placement is, and now you have the visibility issue of nighttime, so you can't see as well as if it was, properly lit during the day. And I think if they added those kind of conditions to the game, changing the time of day, maybe have one at the sunset, little romantic Destiny strike, put that in there for Valentine's Day. Couples love playing it. I know I did. And maybe add a little bit of rain or snow or something like that. Like those little things, I think, add a lot to changing up the level. It changes stuff for your eyes and while you're playing it, so it's like something new to kind of take a glance at while you're enjoying the game. And maybe if they do those types of things, it'll keep the variety up heavy. All I know is keep that counter up high for the amount of strikes in base game Destiny 2. Number 3, dat lore. Okay, Destiny 1 had major issues with conveying its expansive universe. One, it was told in a very poorly fashion. They took all the lore and all the codex information that you would get, and you had to go to the Destiny app on your phone, or you go online on their website and you unlock different parts while playing the game. You're like, oh, what is this character? Or what, who's this? You'd learn about that, you could read about it online. That's the worst way to do your story, especially when it's not a slow game. You play something like Skyrim or Fallout, it can be arguably a slower paced game. Great games. But with reading in those games, it fits the pace. To stop and then glance and then read through something, it makes sense to me. In Destiny, it's very forward moving all the time. Lots of high kinetic action when you're playing it. The reading element doesn't really fit. The way I think they should do it is, number one, at least, very least, put all the lore in the game. When I have to go to a phone or I have to go to a computer for my game on the PS4, it should all be within game, not, oh, I gotta go open a browser. I hate when they do that. Don't do that for this one. And then with that, have the lore be voice acted. Remember the original Mass Effect trilogy? They got the same guy to do all the codex information there, so you could just sit for days and just listen to this stuff. It's fine, but I want to add another layer on top of it. Do it as audio logs. So if you have exploration sections or something like that, be able to listen to the codex stuff, someone narrating them. Get Morgan Freeman to do it. It'll be great. And be able to listen to them while you're doing, because then you're learning more about the universe and you're playing the game. So you have something to do and you have something to listen to. I think that's how they should do it going forward with all that lore. Number 4, no more I could tell you in this game. And I'm just gonna put a little clip here for you guys so you can enjoy the I could tell yous. And if you haven't played Destiny 1, there you go.
You must have no end of questions going. I could tell you of the great battle centuries ago. How the traveler was crippled. I could tell you of the power of the darkness, its ancient enemy. I could tell you, 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 I could tell you.
Don't do the I could tell you. That's worse than giving me over exposition on anything, because exposition, I'll say this, exposition works really well in a book. You're reading it. But when you're in a visual medium, like film, like a video game, show me. Don't tell me. So when they say, I could tell you about the great battle, show me that battle in a cutscene. Or better yet, I got a great idea for all these cool elements with the Destiny history that we're told about but don't actually experience. They should have an element in the game that does some type of, they can call it like a combat simulator for new Guardians in the game, new warriors. And what they do is they go into this combat simulator and you can play it in a big 6-man co-op team, and you do this big epic battle that was from this history in Destiny. It gives you a huge amount of context, and you enjoy it a lot more. It's way more engaging and impactful to you because you're like, I was there, I was at the battle, I was on the beaches. Like, that's the kind of stuff that they need in there. And it'd be cool. It's like they talk about all these battles and all these people that fought in them. Let me experience them. Let me play. It's a game. Let me play it. Let me do it. No more I could tell you. If that's in the next game, oh, I'm gonna tell you. All right, number 5. Now this is more wishful thinking. I don't think it's gonna happen, but hey, it's my list. I would like split screen co-op in there. Why? Because I love that stuff. And I'm coining it Joe-op because these are my kind of things. You know, I just love split screen. I grew up with split screen. Bungie had it in all their Halo games, and then Destiny, they were like, nah, we're done. And we could tell you why, but we won't. I want it in my game. I just miss it. So if they had that in there, oh my God, I'd be ecstatic. It'd be amazing. And also, to add a little tidbit, this is like a combo for 5. 5 is a little beefy, 2 ideas in 1. Can we not have a mandatory internet connection for the game? Like, I get that it's trying to do this quasi, you don't have to be online, you need to be online, it's an MMO, but it's not an MMO. Figure out who you are first, Destiny 2. Alright, just figure that out. Find yourself. And figure out if you're gonna go MMO, go full MMO then. Because the only time that I interacted with other people in the game was if I was playing online competitive multiplayer, kind of makes sense, or if I wanted my friends to join me in a mission, and that was it. Other than that, you go through the social areas, I'd pick up missions, I'd see other people, I'd do little dances with them, and then I'd leave. So there wasn't a lot of interacting with random people in the game. Just a little bit. So if it's gonna be just a little bit, I don't see why we can't experience most of the game offline. But if we need to do things online, like online co-op or competitive multiplayer, keep it online. Number 6. Alright, I want the Bungie epic encounters coming back. Those epic vehicle set pieces. Give me some stuff in Destiny that reminds me of them from Halo 2, where they were like, here's the tank, go in that tank. And I want you to go across the bridge and blow the living shit out of everything there. Banshees, cars, people, aliens, bad stuff. Oh, it was awesome. And then you have the awesome music playing in the background with it too. I loved that. That's just an example of their stuff. I mean, Halo 3 is full of awesome set pieces. They kind of hinted at some of that stuff in Taken King, and one particular beefy part in Rise of Iron that I love. But I want more of that to permeate the game. I want the ending of the game to feel really climactic. Give me something big. Give me these memorable moments. Be like, oh, from Destiny 2, I remember this fight, this fight, this fight, this fight. And it was amazing getting there. Give me that kind of stuff. I want it, and I know you guys can do it and do a great job with it. Number 7. For this one, I would like to see them to implement an epic Strikes playlist. So Strikes were those 3-man co-op missions, and they were really fun. You had a bunch of encounters and you had a big boss fight at the end. I want to see that on a bigger scale, because raids have some of those elements in them, but they do have problem solving in it, and problem solving hurts my face. So with Strikes, it's just action, action, action all the time, and I just want to see something take that chaos and then magnify it. Like I said, it goes with the last one. Give me those epic vehicle encounters, and maybe in those missions, that's where we'll see those. I hope we get something like that. Number 8. For the open world-ish kind of areas that were in Destiny 1, where you pretty much went to the bigger areas that were in the game, and you had to do accounting homework because you click a mission and they're like, collect these 5 things. You run over there, collect those 5 things. Then you do another mission, collect these 5 things. You didn't really explore the area. You didn't really enjoy the space you were in. It just kind of felt like you had a to-do list and not a fun to-do list. It's like, all right, after laundry, I will then clean the dishes and change the diapers and wipe my own ass. Like, there was nothing in there that wowed me with the exploration. Now, I'm not saying go full Fallout, though I would love if they did that, where it was like, here's the open area, have at it, enjoy it, go find things. But I think something in between that being able to go and explore, maybe go to outposts, talk to some NPCs, have that be a way to get some lore. Actually make some of the quests personable like they do in some of the single player games where you're trying to help out people on like a micro level, and I think that would be really cool to have in the game. Also, it'd help you care about the world more. You're interacting with its citizens and everything like that. So do something like that. And like I said earlier, these sections would be a great opportunity to have people brush up on their Destiny history by having those audio logs from the codex and the lore in the game. You're doing some of these missions, you're out and exploring, you don't have to worry about any narrative chatter that's going on. Let's brush up on some, you know, audible Destiny history. Do that. I don't know. I'd love it. Number 9. Okay, for number 9, this is what they need to keep. It's very simple. Keep that epic soundtrack because, man, anyone, you talk to anybody, everyone will complain about stories or, too repetitive about Destiny 1. No one says shit about the soundtrack, like nothing bad. Everyone's always, oh yeah, it's freaking amazing. I love the soundtrack. It's the best thing I've ever heard. My ears, oh my God, I was deaf and then I listened to the soundtrack and now I can hear again. That stuff is really good, really good. Keep that in there. Don't lose those tracks because there are some really great tracks in Destiny. And by I mean some tracks, I mean all the tracks. So keep that stuff. And also, sprinkle in some surprises for me. Give me some new ones that I'm going to have new favorites for. Put on the old iPad. Listen to that while I'm jogging. Who am I kidding? I'm not jogging. All right, let's go to the next one. All right, number 10. We're going big because now we're in the double digits. Ooh. I want space battles. I would like some space exploration. Even if it's simplistic but very fun, something like that would be awesome. All that the space stuff in Destiny was just load screens. That was it. You had these really cool looking ships. They were really awesome ships, but you can fly them or fight with other people, and it'd be really cool if there were like a couple co-op missions where you're out in space taking on destroyers. I mean, heck, if you really want to impress me, have a space fight and then go right into a carrier and then we're on an on-foot section and then go back into the spaceship and do more space battle stuff. Do that. That'll impress the shit out of me. I'd love that. But add the space battles. That would be really cool to have for co-op and really fun for multiplayer. Adds another like tier or level to the multiplayer night. You got on-foot sections. You got some vehicle dedicated stuff. That'd be awesome. I know a lot of people want it. Yeah, because, it's not unreasonable to be like, oh, there's spaceships in those sci-fi movies and games. That would be great if I could fly them. That's a weird idea. Why would you ever ask for something like that? Because it's cool shit. Let me do it. I want it. Yeah, space battle. Number 11. Oh yeah, you thought we were done at 10, but hey, not on this channel. We do one more better. And for this one, it's simple and it's vague, but surprise me. And what do I mean by that? Bungie, don't advertise everything that's in your game up front. Surprise me a little bit. Leave some mystery in there. I don't want to know everything. I want to know the gist of what I'm getting and specifically what modes I can play with my friends and all that jazz. But surprise me on some stuff. Have some hidden levels in there with those epic encounters or crazy gameplay mechanics that we don't know, we don't see coming. And the good example I'll use for this, and I have to be vague because if you haven't played Titanfall 2's campaign, I don't want to spoil it for you, but there's a level in that game that totally changes up the mechanics of the whole game. And when you get to it, you'll know, one, because you'll be like, what? And it's amazing. Do something like that. Surprise me. Because Titanfall 2, they did it, and I didn't even see that coming. No one said a freaking word about that. Keep that in Destiny. Just surprise me. Something cool like that. Keep that sense of wonder going. I'll be super happy. That's my list. 11, 10 things or whatever that I really want in Destiny 2. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope some of them do get on the list. Or maybe it's just a bunch of wishful thinking from someone who's, just boarded the hype train for Destiny 2. Either way, we got a new game coming out this fall. I am looking forward to it, being cautiously optimistic. I hope you enjoyed the list, and let me know in the comment section what you specifically would really like to have in Destiny 2. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like. If you really like the video, give me a subscribe. Really helps out my self-confidence. And if you enjoyed this list-ish kind of video, the wish list of stuff that, you know, maybe will be in the game, maybe not be in the game, let me know if I should continue this type of thing for other franchises or games or movies, or etc. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.